Most people believe that consciousness is nothing more than thought, that the inner voice narrating their life is identical to the awareness experiencing it. But Gautama Buddha uncovered something far more radical. The mind is like a storm, while you are the sky behind it. That storm spins with memories, fears, fantasies, repeated arguments, hopes that never quite arrive, and worries that endlessly multiply. It's almost as if the mind is addicted to generating noise just to prove that it exists. From the very instant you wake up, thoughts flood in before your eyes even open. What time is it? Why did they say that? Why am I still stuck? What if today goes wrong? But if you slow down, if you truly begin to observe, you'll notice something unusual. You didn't choose these thoughts. They simply show up like clouds drifting into view without invitation. And Buddha realized something we're rarely taught. If thoughts arise on their own, how can they truly be you? You don't control what appears, you only get caught in it. The modern world may be louder, faster, and more overwhelming than ever, but the core of human suffering hasn't changed since Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree. We confuse the storm for the sky, and in doing so, we forget who we really are. By the end of this, you'll understand what Buddha saw when he stopped resisting the mind and started observing it, and why that shift marks the line between suffering and awakening. If you're ready to see your mind differently, stay with this until the end. Chapter 2: Seeing the Mind's Prison. Long before he became the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama lived inside a palace designed to shield him from reality, a life of comfort, luxury, and endless distraction, carefully crafted to keep him asleep in the illusion that pleasure could protect him from pain. Yet even surrounded by beauty, he sensed something unsettled within, a quiet dissatisfaction, a subtle ache, a hunger that no comfort could satisfy. When he finally stepped beyond the palace walls and encountered sickness, old age, and death, something inside him broke. It wasn't just the fragility of life, it was the realization that the mind cannot accept reality as it is. The mind resists impermanence, it rejects change, it clings to what must eventually fall apart. It fights truth, and that struggle is suffering. In that moment, Siddhartha didn't awaken to some mystical secret. He awakened to the pain of being trapped inside a mind that doesn't know how to be still. He saw that his suffering didn't come from the world itself, but from the stories his mind created about the world. This became his first great insight. The mind builds the prison and then forgets it constructed the walls. True escape isn't about running from life. It's about turning inward and seeing the bars that were always there. Chapter 3: The Monkey Mind and the Birth of Suffering. Buddha often described the monkey mind, a restless, impulsive awareness that jumps endlessly from one thought to another, grasping, rejecting, craving, fearing, never satisfied, never still. He said the mind is like a monkey stung by a bee, intoxicated, haunted, laughing one moment and screaming the next. If you've ever had a night filled with anxiety where your mind invents problems out of nothing, or replayed a moment from years ago until it hurt again, then you've encountered the monkey mind. The real tragedy is this: the monkey speaks in your own voice. It pretends to be you. It says, "I'm not good enough," and you believe it. It says, "They don't like me," and you obey. It says, "I'll never change," and you repeat it like prophecy. Buddha understood that suffering isn't caused by the world, it's caused by how the mind reacts to it. The mind constantly resists, judges, rewrites, dramatizes, and attaches meaning, turning neutral events into emotional chaos. He didn't teach that thoughts are bad. He taught that identifying with them is the root of suffering. When you believe the monkey, you become it. When you observe it, you rise above it. Chapter 4. You are not what you think you are. Buddha deconstructed the illusion of self into 5 elements known as the aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Then he asked a question that shook the foundation of identity. Which of these is truly you? The body constantly changes, feelings come and go, perception shifts depending on mood and memory, thoughts and reactions arise automatically, even consciousness flickers moment by moment. None of these are stable, permanent, or fully controllable. So how can any of them be a fixed self? If something can be observed, how can it be the observer? This was the breakthrough. Nothing you can point to is truly you. Not your body, your past, your personality, your trauma, your achievements, your fears, or even your thoughts. You are the awareness in which all of these appear and disappear. The self you believe in is a mental collage assembled by the mind, but the witness behind it has never changed. When you begin to see this, suffering starts to lose its grip. Chapter 5. Watching the mind instead of being it. Under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha didn't try to silence his thoughts. He simply observed them. That was the method. Not force, not suppression, not control, just awareness. He watched desires flare up and fade away. He observed fear rise like a wave and dissolve. He saw memories pass like clouds. He noticed fantasies pulling at him, shame criticizing him, doubt attacking him, and realized none of these had power unless he clung to them. The moment he stopped reacting, thoughts lost their fuel. The moment he stopped identifying, they lost their authority. The moment he stopped believing, they lost their reality. Awakening wasn't about eliminating thought, it was about ending identification with it. The shift from "I am thinking" to "thinking is happening" is the seed of enlightenment. Modern life teaches constant stimulation and distraction, but Buddha found freedom in the opposite direction. When you observe the mind without judgment, a gap appears. In that gap, there is silence, peace, and clarity, untouched by chaos. The mind becomes like a movie, and you stop confusing yourself with the main character. Chapter 6. The Illusion of I. One of Buddha's most misunderstood teachings is anatta, no self. It doesn't mean you don't exist. It means the version of you that you cling to is not fixed or real. Buddha saw that the I we defend is just a collection of habits, thoughts, memories, and reactions, constantly changing. You are not the same person you were years ago or even yesterday. The identity you hold on to is just a snapshot in a constantly evolving stream. But the awareness noticing all this never changes. Buddha didn't destroy the self. He revealed it was never solid to begin with. The self is a process, not an object. Once you realize this, you stop needing to defend or prove an identity. You can finally breathe. Without a rigid self to protect, every moment becomes a chance to begin again. The weight of me fades, and clarity takes its place. Chapter 7. It's freedom. Many misunderstand emptiness as something cold or lifeless, but for Buddha, emptiness wasn't the absence of meaning, it was the absence of distortion. When you remove labels, judgments, and projections, you experience reality directly. A tree is no longer good or bad, it simply is. That simplicity is emptiness. It's the mind free from clutter. It's the space between stimulus and reaction where choice becomes possible. In that space, thoughts lose their stickiness, emotions loosen their grip, fear loses its bite. Emptiness isn't nothing, it's freedom. Freedom from being trapped by your own mental commentary. And when Buddha realized this, life didn't become dull, it became more vivid than ever. Colors sharpened, sounds deepened, reality revealed itself clearly. That same clarity exists within you, it's just hidden beneath the noise. Chapter 8. Seeing Through Your Thoughts. Awakening doesn't only happen in isolation, it happens in everyday life, in traffic, arguments, heartbreak, and conversation. Buddha didn't awaken so you could worship him, he awakened to show that you can awaken too. In the middle of an argument, a thought